Sensual Art by Rubik's. How you doing? Tyrell, what's up? All right, another AMA. Been doing a bunch of these this week. I think this is like my fourth one. The idea is that you can ask me anything. AMA, which is from Reddit. You can ask about Art Storefronts. You can ask about your marketing. You can ask about NFTs, although I'm tired of talking about NFTs. You can ask about boosting posts on Facebook and Instagram. Don't do that. Don't ever boost posts. Slevin Radio, I'm excited you're excited. Morning, Janine. Good to see you, Saint. What's up? Good to see you again. Art by Rusal. Hello, hello. You guys can ask questions about anything. Doesn't matter if you're a customer or not a customer. I want to talk briefly about live broadcasts because I'm very, very bullish on live broadcasts, and I want you guys all running live art shows. I've talked about that quite a bit, and I'm not going to stop talking about that. I've got a really exciting contest coming up next week on that, which is going to be amazing. I can just tell you right now. Might even talk about some newsjacking today. In fact, you know what? I think I am going to start off with some newsjacking while you guys come up with questions. And again, you can literally ask me about anything. When we get to the sort of lead generation motif of this thing is when we get to the end of the month and we're running a big deal like we are today, there's always a ton of questions and we can't get to them all and they come into email. So my hope is that we can be in a scenario where I can just make myself available on these lives. You can ask whatever question you like, and maybe we can field more of what's going on. But I do have one interesting thing to report on, which I think could be kind of fun. And I want to talk about this concept. Yeah, young Cynthia, I can't do the requests on Instagram. The reason being is it's streaming a whole bunch of different destinations, and if I attempted to pull you in, everyone on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter wouldn't be able to hear. So that's the rationale for that. But I want to talk about briefly this concept of newsjacking, and then any questions that you might have, you can leave one on Instagram. I'll answer directly. You can leave one on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. I'll answer those directly. Nothing's off limits. You can ask whatever you like. But there's a concept called newsjacking, okay? And in newsjacking, what you essentially attempt to do is you find out that there is a current event of some kind going on, a newsworthy story, and through creative marketing, you might even say hacking, you insert yourself into the news story, thereby garnering, all that attention, all that press, right? And the original example, the guy that penned this is like a marketer. His name's David Meerman Scott, and he stole the idea, or he captured the idea from, this was like 7 or 8 or 10 years ago. But do you remember when the Chilean miners were stuck in the earth, right? In Chile, those guys were stuck down in a hole. No one knew if they were going to get the Chilean miners out or not. And I think they were called Los 33, the 33, because there was 33 of them stuck down in the hole, if I recall correctly. And what happened in that situation is someone that was very, very enterprising from Oakley, okay? They realized that, hey, these guys might get out of this hole. If they do, they're like moles that have been stuck in the ground. They haven't seen sunlight, and so their eyes are going to be really, really sensitive to the sun. So Oakley went and sent 33 pairs of Oakley sunglasses, polarized the whole deal down into the hole, okay, in the event that these guys would come up. And what ended up happening? Sure enough, these guys all got out of the hole, and each one that came up had Oakley sunglasses on. And this was such a story the entire world was watching. Okay, so for the cost of 33 pairs of sunglasses to Oakley, which is probably like $500 or something, they ended up getting, what do you want to say, $300 million worth of advertising, $30 million worth of advertising, whatever it is, some staggering amount. And so that's where this concept of newsjacking got coined. And I got to give a shout out to one of our customers, because you can absolutely do this as an artist. You can absolutely do this as a photographer if you get creative. And if you do, you have the opportunity to get a ton of free attention for your art, for your photography, which is a big deal, okay? And so we have a customer that has done this recently. I want to show it. I'm going to have to figure out a creative way to let you guys on Instagram see it, but I'm going to pull up here on the screen share. This is called Google Trends, okay? And you can put in any search term that a ton of people are searching into Google Trends, and it'll it'll sort of show you the search volume, okay? And so you can see I've got Anthony Bourdain in here, past 12 months, and you can see that it had 100 share between July 11th and July 17th, which is way, way up there. It's the highest it's been all year. And you're like, okay, well, why is Anthony Bourdain all over the radar all of a sudden? He's all over the radar because they came out with a new documentary on him, which is fairly significant. And so his name is all over the place on Instagram. I'm going to show you. That's Google Trends. It's absolutely peaking. Okay. It's the highest it's been ever. And then I will show you, we have an artist, Meg, who decided she loved Anthony Bourdain. She was contemplating painting him forever. And so she decided to paint him. She did this incredible original of him, and the work came out just absolutely stunning. Let me just show you this. It's one of her best pieces, in my opinion. I love this thing. I've told her so. But yeah, that gives you an idea on the piece. And so she painted Anthony Bourdain, has put the original in her store. Thor, what is she charging for the original? So the original's up for $18,500. She's got limited editions for $295, and then she's got open editions for $20. And then she had a sketch, which started this whole thing, and the sketch is already sold. That was for $1,200. So what's genius about what she did here is, she has always loved Anthony Bourdain, been a big deal for her, but she essentially did newsjacking. She realized that there was going to be a, excuse me, there was going to be a big event in which the whole world was talking about Anthony Bourdain. She timed the release of this piece with his documentary, and as a result, she's getting a ton of free attention. And my guess is that she will probably sell that individual piece for that price, which is absolutely staggering. So good on you, Meg. Solid marketing there. It's something that I think all artists, all photographers can and should be aware of, that you're contemplating subject material, you're contemplating a pivot. You're like, I don't know what I should do. I don't know what subject material I should do. Well, let me tell you, when you start with demand and you work backwards, i.e. in that screen share, like I showed, Anthony Bourdain is being searched more than he's ever been searched. So guess what? People are going to be super interested in him and remember all the fond memories they have of Anthony Bourdain. Great time to have a piece about Anthony Bourdain in the water, right? There are likely tons of opportunities, thousands of opportunities that you guys could potentially leverage all throughout the year, where there's an opportunity to do this. And it's just phenomenally effective. So that's newsjacking. It's a great little technique. It's a great technique to think of as an artist, as a photographer. You've been painting, you've been shooting what you want to shoot, what inspires you, what makes you happy, what fires up your creative juices. Well, you could still do that, but do that intelligently with something that is going to have a ton of attention built in for whatever reason, right? Like you could do, you could paint the Olympic fire or the Olympic flames or the Olympic logo or Olympic gymnast or Olympic whatever right now. And that would probably get a ton of attention, right? Because what's going on? The Olympics. I mean, despite the fact no one's watching it, it's the lowest rated Olympics in the history of history. But that aside, that's newsjacking, which I think is interesting. But for everybody that's just joining, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitter, doing an AMA, you got questions, willing to answer them. It can be about anything that we do. It could be about marketing. It could be about live art shows, which I love talking about. It can be about our summer sale, which is ending Friday. So if you're contemplating signing up for Art Storefronts, heck of a window to do it right now. And yeah, any questions you might have, I'm available. I'm answering. So where are you in your marketing? Have you sold anything? Are you a hobbyist that's trying to go pro? Or are you a hobbyist that's trying to get to the next rung of the ladder, which is at least a verifiable side hustle? You have some income coming in. Are you doing pretty well with your business, but you want to go full time? What are you struggling with? That's the idea. And thank you, Michael. Yes, newsjacking. He's just commenting on the newsjacking, saying great idea. It is a great idea. It is a fantastic idea. It's just creative marketing, and no one ever takes the time. Usually, creators, artists, photographers, to instead of just create what they want and then hope there is demand for the thing, newsjacking flips the whole thing 180 degrees. You're instead of just creating what you want, you're like, okay, wait a minute. Let's just flip the whole thing on its axis, and I'm going to start with demand, and I'm going to let that inform what I go and I create. So powerful, powerful technique. One that very, very few people leverage, despite the fact we've talked about it a bunch going back. But everyone's out there creating what they want to create, and they're hoping that there's demand. So if everyone else is zigging and you zag, usually a good place to be. Can be really, really successful, and can potentially even put you into a new niche that you didn't even know existed. That is fantastic. So yeah, that's newsjacking. Okay. Reginald's asking, when will the CEO do another Zoom meeting? Good timing on that one, Reginald. Tomorrow, actually. So that's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be able to join, I can just put a link in here and you can just register, Reginald, or you can watch the replay after the fact, or you can watch it because it'll stream live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. So you can watch in any of those capacities if you like. I don't know, Reginald, if you know how to join our Zooms, but if you just go to our website, I might as well pull it up and show you what that looks like. So you can just search Art Storefronts. It will hit our blog. You can do art business workshops. Am I sharing my screen? I don't know. If you're on Instagram and you want to join one of these things, by the way, all you have to do is hit the link tree in our bio and it's there. So I'm going to add this to the stream. So here you go, Reginald. You hit our blog. It's Art Business Workshops. You have a little description and you can go get invited, click this, fill this out. Boom, you're in the Zoom. It's free. There's nothing else you need to worry about. That's it. That's how you can get on. You can ask whatever questions you like. That's the whole point of doing these, is just, be radically transparent, be available, be willing to talk to your customers at any point in time. Okay. Janine is asking me a question. How do you keep from being perceived as exploitative if you choose a topic like climate change for newsjacking? It's not exploitative, Janine. Like, if you feel strongly about climate change, then do it. There's a whole heck of a lot of people that are really, really passionate about climate change. If you're one of them, then absolutely do that, right? Climate change is one of these things that pops up all the time. So, there's abundant opportunities to, sort of ride that wave, surf behind that boat, that jet ski. So I wouldn't feel exploitative at all doing that. It's all good. The only way you would be exploitative is if you're like, okay, climate change is a hot topic. I'm going to go ahead and post about it right now. And in your driveway is a Generation 1 Hummer that gets 3 miles to the gallon, and you've taken off the muffler because you like the sound of it. Okay, well, then if you do that, Janine, that might be a little exploitative. Otherwise, all good. All good. You can totally paint that and totally do that, right? Yep. Thank you, Anthony. Glad you like the information. Glad you're learning. It is an AMA, which means you can ask me anything about anything. Leo, what's up? You're back. I like it. And part of the reason to doing these things is doing these AMAs is we like to eat our own dog food, right? And what do I mean by that? I'm advocating that our customers go live 10x more than they are currently. Why is that? Because I find it to be insanely effective. It is a great way to be able to communicate with potential customers. It's a great way to run a live art show, which is the single solitary greatest marketing technique and hack an artist or photographer can run right now, full stop. The results have been staggering that I've seen on that. And, what kind of a person am I advocating my customers do it if I'm not doing it myself? I have to do it myself, right? So we're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitter, live in our private Facebook group, Small Wins for Customers. And absolutely anyone can come in, pop in, ask questions, however they like, and we'll answer them directly. It could be customers, non-customers. It could be about anything that we do. On Instagram, I pin the comment if you're next up, and that's how it goes. So Reginald's asking, how do gift cards work? Saw it on a site built by Art Storefronts. Yeah, it's easy. You can add it to your store, Reginald, in 2 seconds. And it can be for whatever, however you want to do it. $50, $100, $200, $500, whatever you want to make it for. Somebody can buy it. You can gift it. Then somebody can use the card to buy just about anything, that they want to do in the store, right? So they're really, really easy to use, Reginald. And, it's kind of cool that the gift cards are interesting because sometimes, You want to surprise a significant other. Somebody wants to surprise a significant other. Somebody wants to give a gift, or somebody knows somebody wants to get an expensive piece and they can't afford the expensive piece and they've been talking about it. And you're like, hey, I'm going to help you out. The piece is $5,000 and I'm going to send you $1,000 gift card. So you're on your way to getting it, right? There's so many different instances where, you know, you can gift the gift card and it's awesome. And they're also awesome for giveaways, a whole bunch of other stuff. Gift cards just work. All right. William saying, I sent and signed up for a personal demo of your system process. And what are the costs and obligations? So they'll go over all of that, William, in the demo process. The way that the demo process works, kind of like test driving a car. You fill out the little form and there's links everywhere for this. If you're on Instagram, it's in the bio, in the link tree, which is link in the bio. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you just look at the actual live stream that you're on, there's a link right there. You can click, fill out the form. What happens? Somebody from our team will reach out to you. It's like a 10-minute call. They will get all your questions answered, William, about pricing and bells and whistles and this and that. They'll find out more about you, your art, what you do. And should you be interested, then you schedule the demo. The demo goes like an hour and it just sort of walks you through everything that we do, shows all the bells and whistles, the marketing software, really just everything that we do. So that's the demo process. If you already requested one, William, good timing because we have such a crazy sale running this week, summer sale, and somebody on our team will be reaching out for you in short order. All right. Sherbert's Imagery is saying, I just did a giveaway at a weekend art show. When I email out the winner announcement to those who entered, I had one abuse report in MailChimp. What does that mean? That means somebody clicked that it was abusive. Don't worry about it. These things happen. A lot of times people click those things accidentally and it means absolutely nothing. So you're doing the right thing. Don't worry about that in the slightest. You don't worry about that. You don't worry about unsubscribes. You just stay at it on your marketing. It's all good. You know, people tend to early on, especially when you're just getting started, stress out about those like little metrics like that. And they mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, nothing at all. So don't stress about it at all. Good stuff. Glad you did the show. Glad you did the giveaway. Love that. Good tactical. Very, very good tactical. For those that are just joining on Instagram or on Facebook doing an AMA, you can ask me anything about Art Storefronts, about your artwork, about where you are in your marketing, about what's going on, and I am answering. Yeah, Sherbert's Imagery, no problem. Happy to answer that for you. All right, so this is a good question. Yarek, I hope I'm saying that right, Yarek, I don't know. On Facebook ads, what interest do you recommend testing first when you're selling abstract art? So I don't recommend, Yarek, that you go cold when you start out at all. So all paid traffic, okay, and especially Facebook and Instagram ads, can be separated between cold and warm, okay? And the easiest way to think about it is the relationship example, okay? Let's say you walk into a bar and you're in, you know, a couple towns over, and you walk into the bar and not a single solitary person knows you. They've never met you. They've never seen your face before, and they've definitely never seen your art before, okay? That's cold. That's cold advertising. So you're showing your message to people that have never been exposed to it. Warm, okay, Yarek, is walking into that same bar, and in that same bar is everything from somebody that just met you yesterday to somebody that's known you your entire life and everything in between, okay? That's warm traffic. These people have been exposed to you. How do we target warm traffic? By putting the Facebook pixel on our site, by putting our email list up to Facebook, by creating audiences on Facebook that have engaged with your Facebook content, have engaged with your Instagram content. You put all of those audiences together into what we call the kitchen sink audience, and that is where you start with your Facebook ads. If you can't get your warm Facebook ads to pay, then you will never make cold Facebook ads pay. So I don't necessarily recommend going after interest targeting. I don't think that'll be effective for you. I especially don't think it'll be effective when you're doing something as generic as abstract art. So I would say, Yarek, are you doing warm ads? Have you started those already? You need to start there. And sort of the caveat in all of this, Yarek, is like the chicken and the egg problem. Well, Patrick, I don't have the warm audience. I have no one on my email list. I've never sold anything. No one's interacting with my Facebook or my Instagram page. How do I get started with Facebook ads? I'm trying to get people into my ecosystem. And that's one of the things that we do. It's one of our secret sauces at Art Storefronts, is recommend a bunch of technique and tactics that sort of get things going right early on, because you need to generate that warm audience so you can start showing ads to the warm audience. Then when are you ready for cold ads? Not until you've sold at least $2,500, if not more, directly from your website to strangers. After you have, then you can get into a conversation about cold ads. But even then, yeah, I'm ice cold right now, man. That's classic. Yeah, a lot are. But you gotta, the analogy, the thing to think about big picture is, in order to make any money from Facebook ads, and this goes with warm or with cold, meaning in order for you to ever get, you're essentially wanting to put $1 into the ads ecosystem, and you're wanting to get $5 out, right? In order for you to even stand a chance at that, you have to be marketing consistently, and no one ever does that. And what do I mean by marketing consistently? You have to be capturing emails all year long. You have to be emailing the emails all year long. You have to be doing regular romance marketing, by which I mean just posting your stuff and posting your process. You need to be running live art shows. You need to be running sales when the time is right. And what you fundamentally learn in this business is that art or photography business, its success can be judged on how they do consistent marketing, which is normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale. That is your entire year. It rinses and repeats year in, year out. Normal marketing, sale. That's reversed. I can't do that very well. But normal marketing, sale. That's the ball game. So if you're not doing that, you might as well take that money, Yarrick, and light it on fire. And that'll warm you up a little bit, because you're not going to see an ROI from advertising on Facebook or Instagram. You're going to be lighting that money on fire. So you got to focus on doing consistent marketing first. Once you sort that, then you're ready to have a conversation about Facebook or Instagram ads. So that's the ball game. Janine, there's no expected ROI for ads on warm ads on Facebook or Instagram. But what we find is that for people that are doing the marketing consistently all year long, which you should be, Janine, I'm pretty sure you are, then you don't have to worry about it. It will take care of itself. The score will take care of itself. Because you're having those sales, because you're constantly marketing, because you're constantly emailing, you essentially stack the deck in your odds to be actually able to see an ROI. And so there's not necessarily an expected, it's a little bit different for everybody, but that's how you win, right? Because the dirty little secret that no one ever talks about is Facebook and Instagram have a free plan and they have the paid plan. Now, there is not a pricing table that talks about the free plan and the paid plan. It's not publicized, but what the paid plan is that paid plan on Facebook and Instagram is essentially showing your latest posts to warm traffic, to people that have met you before, that know your art. And what it essentially does is it takes us to the good old days. Remember the good old days? Remember when you would follow somebody on Facebook and you would see 100% of their posts, and they would follow you and see 100% of your posts? And so too with Instagram. Warm ads on Facebook and Instagram is the paid plan that takes us back to the good old days. It ensures that everyone that we have in our ecosystem is actually seeing our posts, that we are top of mind. And what happens is they're constantly reminded that you're an artist, you're a photographer, you're creating new work. And then when they're ready to buy art, which no one knows when they're ready to buy art, right? It just happens randomly. And your only way you're going to get the sale is if they're aware that you exist when they're ready to buy. And that's the secret to running Facebook and Instagram ads. It's kind of deep, I know, but that's how you make it. And you know what you definitely do not do, Yarrick? Do not boost a post, by which I mean not one and not ever. Okay, not ever. Not ever. Okay, William's got one. Like all artists, as you had said, my interest is focused on the creation of art, not marketing. Yep, that's 100%. You have a web page, a LinkedIn profile, a personal private Facebook page for your art with 194 members. That's kind of cool that you have 194 members in there, especially if it's private. You have no clue how to connect all of them for Instagram users to access. How would your service take some of that technical stuff off my to-do list? Paid Instagram and Facebook accounts, business accounts. Yeah, so you need to learn how to market, William. And what we do is we teach you how to do all of that, all of the above, leverage all of those individual entities. And, one of the most important things that we do for our customers is we have, William, essentially Zoom sessions, just sort of like this live, except you're inside of a Zoom. And we teach you how to do all of these things. And then you have questions, you raise your hand, we unmute you, you say, I need help with this, this, and this. And you can even schedule private sessions for our support to walk you through how to leverage those various different things, William. But you're in a good place. You should absolutely sign up. We can help you. The fact that you already have all that going on gives you a huge leg up from most. Your biggest problem is just going to be stitching it all together. Focusing your energy, William, on the highest ROI marketing tactics, ROI being return on investment, time, energy, treasure, talent. And we'll teach you. That's what we teach you all year long to do. How to leverage all those various different things, how to start streaming to all of those various different things, displaying, marketing your art. So you should absolutely request. I think you said you already did request a demo, didn't you, William? Yeah, we're going to be able to help you significantly stitch all of those things together, how to best leverage all of those, where to go with all of them. So that's what I'd say on that. To everybody that just joined, if you're going to hang around, if you're going to watch, this is an AMA. Ask me anything, any questions you have about your marketing, about pricing, about niche selection, about media types, about what we do at Art Storefronts, about how we can potentially help you. All of it's on the table. Love to help. Just ask. You can leave a comment on Instagram. You can leave a comment on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, and I will be more than happy to answer. Yeah, these things have been super fun to do. Keeps me on my toes too, trying to figure out and answer all the various different questions that come from all the various different answers. But I love that you guys are on here. It means you're trying to learn and get better at your marketing and start doing so consistently, which you've never done in your art life. Let's be honest, because no artists or photographers usually do. You know, what do I see time and time and time again? Artists and photographers are aware somewhere that the biggest problem they have in their lives and their businesses, if they want to go from a hobbyist to pro, is that they're not doing their marketing, and they're not doing their marketing consistently. And is there anything else that happens in life that looks exactly like what happens to all artists and photographers? Sure is. Guess what happens at the beginning of the year every year? New Year's resolution times, right? What is one of the biggest New Year's resolutions every single solitary year? This is going to be my year to get fit. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to get in shape. You pay for a trainer. You buy a new bike. You start swimming laps. You're going on hikes. You're doing whatever you're doing. This is going to be your year. You're going to get fit. And it starts out pretty strong. And then the next thing you know, it's February. It's cold. You don't want to go outside. You were working out 3 days a week. Now you're down to 1 day, and then you're skipping weeks, and you're right back to where you were, right? That is exactly what happens with artists and photographers and their marketing. This is going to be my year whenever you start. I'm going to start marketing consistently. It's going to be fantastic. And you go for a little period of time, and you don't get the results that you were after. A, because you're doing the wrong stuff. B, because you're chasing shiny objects. And then C, just because you quit because no one told you the perspective of how long you actually have to do this. And you end up exactly like the person that was going to work out this year and finally get fit, right? Like, you know, no one ever markets consistently. Yeah, William, I addressed your question in detail. And as soon as this thing ends, give Facebook like 30 minutes to do its like little processing, and then you can just fast forward right back to it. And write this number down, William, so you can just fast forward right to it. I started answering your question at like 24 minutes. So after the video is done, you can just, you know, toggle the playhead to 24 minutes and boom, that'll pick it right up, and you can get that answer, William. I answered it in depth. Sorry you missed it, but that's okay. But what else, guys? Questions about where your art, your photography is, your marketing? Live art shows. Have you run one? Are you even aware of how profoundly effective that they are? The fact that it's a single solitary greatest marketing technique I've seen come down the pike in terms of selling art and photography in forever, in the history since I started working at this company and hacking at this as a digital marketer, trying to figure out the most effective ways to sell art and photography. Unbelievable. The live art shows are the future. And I'm going to have a big announcement and a contest I'm launching next week on this. So look to all of our marketing materials. If you get our emails, you'll see it. Am I aware that we email too much? Yes, I am. There's a reason that we do it. It's effective, but I do feel like we email too much, and I'm aware of that. But we'll be streaming. We'll be talking about it. We're going to be interviewing customers that have had phenomenal success. And there's going to be some very, very interesting hooks in this particular thing. So should be a super fun contest. Look for that next week. You won't be able to miss it because I'm going to be banging a drum on it. Absolutely crazy. Like crazy. So that should be super fun. But what else, guys? Questions, comments? I would say if you're mildly interested in what we do, now is the time to request a demo, because we are ending our summer sale at the end of the month. And let me just tell you, we're going to start banging the drum, in addition to this contest that I'm launching next week, massively on getting ready to start your Q4 marketing. Okay. And Q4, by which I mean the fourth quarter, by which I mean Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everything that comes before that. Yes, pre-Christmas sales. You could even say New Year's sales. All of it collectively is Q4. Traditionally, in this industry, more art, more photography is sold in Q4 than usually all the other 3 quarters combined, in pre-COVID times anyway. So, it's essentially the fourth quarter. The easiest way to think of it, the analogy is, it's a marathon. It's a marathon that's coming up. And if you knew a marathon is coming up, what would you be doing? You would start doing those little 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, 10K runs, because the last thing you want to do is wake up. It's marathon day and you haven't trained at all, right? You're not going to have a good race. So that is how it works with Q4. You need to get your art up. It needs to be on a website. You need to start getting your marketing in place. You need to start in on your marketing such that when Q4 hits, when Black Friday, when Cyber Monday, when all of the credit cards are out of the wallet and art is being purchased at an alarming clip, your art is in the water. If you sit by on the side and you do not do anything, you're not going to have anyone to market to, and you're going to end up having a bad marathon. So Q4 is coming. We want all of you guys to get up, running, rolling, ready. And let me tell you, if you sign up for us, great. If you don't, the same lessons apply. You have to get ready for this. It is your greatest chance all year long to go from hobbyist to pro, straight up. All right, Yarek's asking, what are some different methods to start building a cold audience? Does that involve using Facebook ads to create the cold audience? No, I don't want you to use Facebook ads at all, Yarek. I want you to do local fairs and shows and gather emails. I want you to do print giveaways. I want you to post regularly on the socials. And, I'm not going to give away all the tricks in my bag, because that's what our customers pay us for. And, marketers ruin everything. But you need to build an audience up. Yarek, when you're just getting started, it's a major pain in the butt. But as I look at your avatar, you look to be in your 20s. You got a whole heck of a lot of time to get at it. Just know that the first couple of years are going to suck. You have to grind. I know no artist or photographer wants to do it, but guess what? If it was easy, it wouldn't be effective. Right? It wouldn't be effective. So stay away from the Facebook ads, Yarek. They're not going to help you. They're only going to hurt you. You're going to be lighting that money on fire. That's my 2 cents. I see almost no one, by which I mean 1 out of 100, maybe, that early on gets going with Facebook ads and is successful. And usually the ones that are, they're doing it for their day job, right? So they understand the platform, they understand how it works, they understand targeting and everything else. And they usually have a niche that makes it very, very easy to target, i.e., somebody that is doing beach photography in one tiny little resort town in the world, and they know how to target people that love that resort town, as an example, but a very nice, clean, lined up interest. Like in your case, you're an abstract artist. It's really, really hard to target people that like abstract art, because that is just such a mishmash of people that it really is just not going to be effective for you. You got to just do your consistent marketing. Yarek, what you need to do is subscribe to the podcast. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find it on our YouTube channel, and start at episode 1 and listen to all of those. Just absolutely ram all of that stuff into your brain, start putting it into practice, and you're going to be on the way. You're going to be on the path. Okay. I've got a few more minutes. Any final questions about what we do? Marketing questions, live art shows, what you're doing on Instagram and Facebook, opportunities to get into our Zoom calls. Any and all is on the table. Ask away, which is the whole point of the AMA. Ask me anything, which we stole from Reddit. Really do enjoy Reddit. Good website. Anyway, yeah. Any questions? Finals, guys? Other than this, let me know what you think of the AMA format. If you're digging it, if you're enjoying it, if you're finding these sessions valuable, or are you actually getting intel that you can bolt into your business and help grow it? That's the hope. That's the desire. That's the whole idea for doing these things in the first place. So that's what I would say on that. Other than that, I think we will wrap that up there. Guys, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And you can look for these AMAs, drop them on a regular basis, random times all throughout the week. I'm committed to doing a bunch of them all week long. I might even do 2 a days. You never know. I actually really enjoy them. They're kind of fun. Yeah. So William, if you've already requested a demo, you're going to get the face-to-face meeting. So that will end up happening. Everything that we do now is on Zoom calls these days. Nothing's just on the good old telephone anymore, unless you really want it to be. So, on your demo, William, and I'll make sure William E. Kelly. I'll look you up in the database, William, and make sure you're in there and your demo went through. While I'm doing that, if anyone has a final, they can certainly ask it. Let me just make sure William is in here. Let's see. Yep. William, just respond to me that you have a 619 number and then a Yahoo email address. If that's you, you're good to go. You are good to go, William. And I also have a 619 area code because I went to school down in San Diego, lived down there for a number of years. Absolutely miss it. I got married in San Diego. Huge fan of SD. Totally miss it. Yep. So you're in the database. I'll make sure that somebody calls you today. William, don't worry. I got you covered. All right. I think we leave it there. Thanks, guys, for watching. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you soon on a future AMA. Bye now.